All right, pull up that. Who were they just talking about a while ago? Oh, well, I can relate to that part. But I heard on bag of things about this guy. Anybody in there know who that guy is? I don't know who that guy is. So, this is nerve-wracking. Why? Because this is not my space. One thing she did say, that's me, I'm chill. Now, I never even used to go to class. And now you give me a book and I have to teach a class? How does that work? Who goes to a class taught by somebody who never got to class? That don't make no sense. So, there's this guy. So first of all, I didn't do all of this. All I'm here up here is I'm just trying to deliver what my team put together. And I want to thank my team. Talk about brands. I formed a brand 18 months ago, and it's been fantastic. Thank you, M-Style. I had nothing to do with this. Sat with them for half an hour. I said, just met with these other crazy girls, and they wanted X, Y, and Z. I said, this is what we're going to do, blah, 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 blah. And we have to figure out what blah, 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 blah means. Thanks, guys. So, this guy, Solomon Sharpe, flipping your life. So when we were having this little chit-chat at CPJ one day, hey, we wanted to do this talk and blah, blah, blah. So I mean, yeah, what are you talking about? You're trying to tell people to flip their lives kind of thing? Wow. Here I am talking about flipping your life. But before I get into that, let me get some other support. So I'm Solomon Sharpe, I'm that guy. Are you crazy?
Yes.
All right, hold on. You guys just had lunch, right? Everybody get up. Up. I cannot do this unless I feel your energy. I need interaction. I need a vibe. Are you guys crazy?
Yes.
Because if you're not crazy, you're broke. Who want to read the first thing to me? Get the mics in there for me, please.
Sometimes you get stuck trying to be who you think you should be. What stories have you been told or told yourself about who you should be?
Right, so I told you I went to a little bit of school. They said that earlier. I got this job. I worked in PR. I never really studied PR, but I have the gift of gab. I have a decent personality. I'm full of... so I got this job in PR. But an entry-level PR job, you really just have to apply yourself. So I went in there, got this job, changed gears, did things a little bit differently. I wasn't a confident writer, but I could write. It involved doing a lot of writing. So how did I get through it? I'd go to people and say, hey, we have to do this article and so on, so on, so. And by the time you start vibing with them, they write their own articles. Put together magazines, put together newsletters. I made good friends with all the people at the media. They wrote the articles. They wrote the captions. I bought the drinks. When you work at Denno and Geddes in those days, I had a lot of drinks in my trunk all the time. And it was really fun. But what it did, I've always taken a non-traditional approach, right? So much so, I'm even wondering right now if my approach shouldn't be the traditional approach. So, pardon? Okay. Oh, you can speak up, feel free, come, let's vibe. So, right, so Mel says do not do that, right? So why did I have to change? So I worked this corporate job, 9 years, fantastic. That little Thai business here choked me up every day. Every now and then I had to wear this jacket, I had to wear a suit, I had to clean my shoes. I couldn't look funky like the young boy that I am. And I was like, So towards the end of the 9 years, I knew something was wrong. That's just not what I wanted to do. I used to make fun stuff happen, but it got so easy. Super Stakes came around. I took out the template. I changed the template a little bit, just like what I did to you guys now. Some people get pissed off. Them come for the ride. Oh, what a fantastic day. Everything was just great, great, great. But it was just too easy to make these things great. I knew something was wrong. I knew this was just not for me. I even wondered to myself, why are you such a bum? Why don't you have any ambition? Why don't you want to be the president of this company? Why don't you want to be a vice president of this company? Why aren't you writing that email? Oh yes, I had email in my time, okay? Why aren't you writing that email to throw somebody under the bus? I saw some other people, they were struggling in their own world, trying to pull their way up. They write this email. I read the email, I was like, seriously? This is not what happened. Why are you trying to make yourself relevant by writing some dumb stuff? But it seems it's relevant in the corporate world, isn't it? That wasn't for me. I was a rebel, anti-establishment, went to burn down Babylon. Not for me. So, sat long and hard, went on vacation, came back from vacation. Boss says, hey, I need to meet with you. All right, what's going on? Well, some BS. Heard our owed one supplier $17 million. I was like, wow, I don't work in accounts. I don't cut the checks. I don't decide when the checks are cut. I send them over to get paid. When I eventually left, one of those suppliers, my assistant went over, said, hey, what about the payment for so-and-so? The person in accounts lift up our despot. You mean these bills? That's one of the things that my boss at the time said I needed to resign because those bills under that despot weren't paid. I'm like, okay. Went home, discussed it with my family. We said, so what's next? So I was like, I don't know. So I'm sorry. Write a letter. I was going tomorrow morning and asked them if redundancy is a part of the plan. Sure enough, I took my letter. There you go. Can I get a redundancy? No. All right, hold this. I'm going to resign January 31st. No problem. So I started packing my things in a little box. Scandal bag was legal at the time. So, every day, scandal bag, figure what a scandal bag holds. And I took out, I was like, wow, every day, all of this, whole bunch of stuff. And then I started to think, what next? What next? So having been that kid that, don't laugh, some people in here can validate what I'm about to say. I used to play football, and I used to play football very well. That is how I ended up at college. That's why I stayed in school. I did just enough to stay in school so I could play ball. Right? Played football and all that kind of thing. I was like, what next? So I started to plan this thing and get my hustle, and that's where strategy comes in for me, that I'll speak about later. So I was like, this thing has to stop, no Babylon. My father called me one day, hey, there's a really great job at the Jamaica Lottery Company for a marketing manager, you should apply. I said, nope, not interested. They don't want me anyway. You need a master's degree. I didn't have one. Sure enough, 6 weeks later, they announced a new chart. The girl that was the marketing manager had no master's degree. So you see what I tell you? I work all these years at Air Jamaica. I provide all of these things for you. And look at what you do. You're a bum. I'm like, yes. But I was that kid that listened to everything, for the most part, because I played football, went to training on time. I never used to go to class on time, but I went to training on time. Played hard, made sure that I got my degree. Parents wanted that? Check. Played ball? Check. My father gave me a ball. That's the first thing I've ever got. and probably the only birthday present I ever got. So every year, when I got bigger, the balls got bigger, and then the balls got nicer, and then they got better football boots and all that kind of thing. So football, football, football. I was supposed to play in the World Cup, but it never really worked out. Not sure if it was... No, it was Jamaica team. We didn't make it. But in the belly, yeah. So I was supposed to do all of these things. And again, I sat at home, and this thing about doing a resume and all that kind of thing just was not sitting well with me at all. That's not what I wanted. So I decided to change gear, and then I said, I'm going to become a hustler. Yes. But I'm not going to sell weed because I'm going to go to prison. So what else am I going to do? So I looked and I said, I used to do a lot of things that I wanted to do. There's a lot of things that I wanted to do, even my job. So remember I spoke about my job, and I just flick a switch and things would just happen easy. But it wasn't challenging for me. So I'm like, all of these things that I wanted to do at work, that they never allowed me to do, and I busted budgets then. I'm like, and my clients in here can attest to this, I'm really going to show you how to bust a budget now. So I busted these budgets, and the clients complain. They're still complaining, right, guys? But after I bust every budget, they're like, wow. And then the bad mind one over the other side say, oh, you do that for them and you don't do it for me. I said, come with your budget. And then bring the budget, and we bust their budget too. And then the story goes on and on and on. I'm not a budget buster, guys. I'm just disruptive, right? If you go in all my report cards, has potential, but is disruptive. I want to thank all those teachers for helping to direct me in life. I get paid a lot of money now to be disruptive, right? What next? Is you right? It's not me. You want to go back to the video? All right. Melissa wants me to go back. Hey, if you don't get the video right this time, we're going to fight. Oh, I like to fight. You have to fight. Every day you have to wake up and fight. If you're married, and I've seen mostly women here, punch your husband in the face. We love it. Right, men? All right. Them don't want to play the video. We're going to fight. Definitely going to fight. So, we in class, remember? Everybody have a book? Page 25? Who's going to read me the second thing that I can't read, by the way. I'm supposed to wear glasses. I can't see anything. I only can see you guys. And you guys are looking pretty. Who's next? Over here. Yeah, I have to turn it on. Yep. Speak.
Are you currently physically present at work?
Come again? Sorry?
Are you currently physically present at work, but really planning your escape? Know that for some, it will take getting pushed out to make it to the next step. What would it take to push you?
I spoke about that, right? Babylon called me in him office and said I must resign. I hated that man for 2 years. Then I loved him. I used to see him after that and was like, hi! Hug him up. Every time I see him now, I hug him up. He made all of this happen for me. Because I was going to follow along status quo. Go to school, work somewhere, do what they tell me to do, go back home, get married. I wasn't sure I was even going to do that. And having kids, now I'm loving it. I was at Sports Day this morning. And you guys denied the Red House from winning key valuable points. Because I was supposed to run in the father's race, but I had to come here. I did not get to represent my daughter. I'm so upset about that. Trust me, if I even reach with it, the start, pull up immediately. And my wife is a doctor, so I'd have to send for her. So guys, let's not wait for anybody to push us out. Right? And when I say push us out, I'm not saying that we all must be entrepreneurs. I'm not saying that we all must be business people. But when I heard Naja talking about earlier, I'm like, wow, I'm nervous now. I don't have a side hustle. I need a side hustle. Then again, you guys paid to watch me speak. Think people pay me to watch me speak? All right, maybe that's my side hustle. Mel, let's work on that. So, what's my side hustle? What's your side hustle? Everybody in here have a side hustle? Yeah. Sure? Yeah. You don't sound convinced. Go home tonight, look in the mirror, and fire yourself. Resign from doing the same old every day. Right? And yes, you can stay in an organization and make a great life for yourself. Are you even in the right department? Are you even doing what you really want to do within that organization? Are you really helping the organization that you're in? I look in the audience here and I see some of my good friends. And I look at my friend Novia. Not a great example of somebody that said and reinvented the thing and is constantly reinventing themselves every day. Thank you for helping me reinvent myself all the time. People think she hates me. She actually loves me. Why? Because she challenges me every day. My biggest critic, but probably my biggest fan. Just like my dad. Tough guy. But other people keep telling me, oh, your father thinks the world of you. I said, me? No way, not me. I don't show it. All right? Next question, class.
What do you need to open the door and step out? Did you hear? What do you need to open the door and step out?
What you ask me? What door? Kick it down. Lick it down. Sometimes it's very easy, you know. Take a key, click, click, boom. And don't make it lick you when you're going through the door. And just run free. Just run wild. I have a department with a bunch of millennials. Average age 23.6. They need a manager. They're millennials, they're young, and they're crazy, and they need guidance. I'm like, no. Some of you don't know, she didn't say it earlier, but I train horses. When you train horses, you have to run experiments all the time. A horse cannot speak. The horse doesn't come in the stable and says, hey, I want to be a long distance runner. Or, hey, I want to be a sprinter. You have to watch them. You have to see them, how they behave. You have to look on how they eat. You have to rub your hand up under them chin. You have to do all of these things that kind of tells you about them. So what do? I come and sit down with my fellow millennials, right? And I vibe. And I speak pure, unadulterated garbage. That's what us millennials do. And we vibe. And then we just go through things. I was like, you know what? Them don't need no manager. Them go manage themselves. But guess what I'm to them? I look at them one day and say, what do you guys want? What do you guys want this department to look like? I'm like, huh? So, rebellious in nature, don't want anybody to tell them what to do. And the minute you tell them to do what they want to do, them go, huh? But we ran this whole thing different. And, I challenged them to be themselves, to just let it out, to be creative, to be free-spirited. What did I not want? I did not want Babylon holding me back. And sometimes the Babylon holding you back is yourself. Stop holding back yourself. Right, Natalie? And I was one of those that nearly did hold back Natalie. Natalie, you idiot. You work at Citibank. You get enough pay. You get enough benefits. Where are you going? Are you crazy? And here's Natalie now doing what she loves and really enjoying it. And you really feel rewarded, right? Trust me. Just kick open the door. What is that? You don't know if open the door. Just open the door, boss man. And just run wild. Every day, all day. Run wild. And you'll be surprised. So let me get back on script here. Next. Oh, they want me to play the video now. I don't have it right this time.
Here's to the crazy ones. The misfits. The rebels. The troublemakers. The round pegs in the square holes. The ones who see things differently. They're not fond of rules, and they have no respect for the status quo. You can quote them, disagree with them, glorify or vilify them. But the only thing you can't do is ignore them.
Thank you.
Because they change things. They push the human race forward. And
We
while
bust
some may
budgets.
see them as the crazy ones, we see genius. Because the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do.
How many of you had seen that video before? How many of you had believed that they were talking about you? Well, if you didn't think that they were talking about you, I suggest all of you in here have a smartphone, you download that video, it's on YouTube, watch it every day until you get that courage to just kick out. Kick open that door and just be crazy. Hi, wife. Is your husband crazy? Crazy about you. Bop, bop. The only thing constant in life is change. And I remember that day at the Jamaica Pegasus when Guinness had bought Deno and Geddes, and they made this crazy a part of their top whatever management Babylon system. And the man says the only thing constant in life is change. And we have to make a paradigm shift. Change is inevitable. So we have to leave D&G and we have to go and hustle the money. Just like that. Side hustle after side hustle after side hustle. So this says relenting change, disruptive, high velocity change. This is the new normal. This is me every day, all day of life. I drive my business partners crazy. I drive my board of directors crazy. I drive my clients crazy. I drive my wife crazy. I drive my children crazy. I drive everybody crazy. But boss, now you tell me if I do it for the last time. So, it now work. Next, even when it's working, that mundane life, every day, at work at 8 o'clock, leave work at 8 o'clock at night. You guys are crazy. You're working too hard. You need to work more smart. You need to bring back some balance in your life. So I knew I had this Saturday cut out for me. Today is the most important man to me in my life is my father. Today is his birthday. I still don't have a smartphone, so I'm sending texts. Yo, next week Saturday my birthday. Yes, and the text did kind of have some voice to it, you know. We have horse race. How it go? Let me see how do some motivational something. Say, yeah. How much I get paid? Hint, hint. Come to the track. Right? So, I had to set everything up. And then, because of my crazy life, my assistant comes and gives me my schedule for March 2nd. I'm like, why are you showing me March 2nd now? Aren't we on a day-to-day basis with this whole thing? No. I see you doing some motivational thing. And March 2nd is your daughter's sports day. I'm like, oh no. And then, so like the system drives her crazy. When she has to make certain appointments, you make them through my assistant. See, I'm structured. I'm not just crazy, I'm a straight, crazy, structured individual. Wow. Sports day. Father birthday. Horse a run. Emerge. And them send me at the star speakers and me I close the show. So I was like, no. We have to flip this whole thing. Flip in your life. So I could have said to the guys, hey, I can't do this, whatever. No. Went with them, we had a reasoning. We have to shake things up. Bam, bam, bam. Doesn't mean that it's the right way. I'm perfect to speak to you now. Right after lunch when niggeritis set in, So, we flip the script. I'm here. I'm glad I'm here. I'm looking at you beautiful people, feeling the energy. I want all of us to succeed. And you guys have just made me know that I need a side hustle. But this requires high degrees of adaptability to absorb and to respond to change effectively, embedded in individuals and companies' DNA. So don't feel like I just wake up and I just flick the switch and the change happens like that. You have to think about this, right? Stand up. Yes, you. Not you. That young lady right there. Yes, you. No, not you. Kimala. You're not named young lady again. Oh, I'm now a mommy. Right? I'm not young anymore. Change, right? Can you relate? Is that what you do every day? Why?
I mean, as you said, it's inevitable for greatness. Good is the enemy of great.
But the last thing you did looked awesome. Why change?
No, it's not good enough. Have to be better.
People like that challenge me every day. I bad mind them every day. I try and beat them all the time. And they're always changing. So every day you think you catch up to them. Like, I'm change again. Time what? You don't want me to leave? Don't put up nothing about time. Oh yes, I have to be a bad man or a bad woman. But in change, adaptability is key, resilience is key, and agility is key. So it's absorbing and reacting to change well. Every day is change. Wake up this morning, it was bright and sunny. It's raining outside now. It's not going to be like this tomorrow. It's not going to be like that the next day and the next day and the next day. So what we do if it rains? Take out an umbrella. So you guys are already doing this. You're just not applying it to your lives. It's easy. I can do it. You guys are smart. You guys went to class. I didn't. Should be way easier for you. But no, we are. I guess we burned down Babylon. And we are rebellious. Hey, let's start teaching rebellious classes. What is it? Serious thing. Resilience. It's about recovery. So people talk about you have to try, you have to fail, you have to dust yourself off. That's exactly what it is. It's easy. I try something every day, every day, every day. I try. No. When the person said awesomeness, you kind of laugh to yourself, don't it? Because you know it wasn't awesomeness for you, right? It was awesomeness for the client. But we know, like I know, me and my team fight about this room. It look good? It don't look good enough. It's only tight because I'm rich and all of them could afford to pay and come. We weren't supposed to have so many people. They're like, oh my God, it's oversold. What are we going to do? Sorry, we'll ram them in. But me and my team, we have to fight. We fight. And I'm like, but that's what you wanted. I was like, well, that's what I wanted yesterday. So it's how we deal with change. We have to bounce back. Bounce back ability is key. We have to fight. Right? And by the way, that thing about punching in the mouth every morning, that was a joke. Agility. I know about this. Don't watch what you see right now. I used to play football. Right? You start a game, you set the game plan, you're down one love. What do? You have to adapt, change, you have to be agile. I was doing agility before it was this coin phrase and this thing, and all of a sudden you have people doing courses on agility. Are you supposed to be a ballerina? Are you supposed to do yoga? What does this whole agility thing means? In my hustle from day one, agility was a part of it. Had to deal with everything. And I told myself I was going to be Mr. Fix-It. So when everybody else around wasn't as agile as I was, I said, call me. I have all the solutions for you, all the time. And I'd get mad when they don't call me. Even when they figure it out by themselves and it worked, I still get mad. No, should have been done better. You have to be fit, you have to be nimble, and you have to know how to move fast. My client right there said I have one digitization, digital room, NCB. Is that name right name? Wow. Agile Lab. I'm like, what the hell is that? Intimidated the hell out of me until I go in there one day and I realized this is where they put the sick, crazy people. And I have a little room here and a beanbag there, and them just start to behave different. I said, oh, favor, I place name Google. Sorry, Google. And this whole Facebook vibe and all that kind of thing, right? You think they just made $28 billion just so? They started in the back end. So when everybody was in the front end, advertising and all of these kind of things, they were in the lab. So I'm like, oh, but look how long me I do that. Me have my lab a long time. When I was first hustling, I had a home office. So the client says, where's your office? I says, right here. I'm like, what do you mean? Boss, I can't have you, you're highly paid. You can't afford to leave your office to come to my office. My office is your office. My office is my car. I have a home office for when I go home at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning when I was really sleeping. Who the hell works at that time? Doing your work. Guys, we have to be fit. We have to be nimble. We have to just be agile. Right, guys? My MainEvent team, that's how we work, run things. Just like that. I had to be agile. 20 months ago, I had 1 picnic. Now I have 3. Thank you, dear. 3 young boy like me with 3 picnic one time. What am I going to do? So, in between feedings, from in the nursery at the hospital, and looking after mommy and, poor little frame. I had to carry these two big babies, and I had to push around in a wheelchair. And see, I had to learn different things. I had to learn to push a wheelchair. And when we're in the hospital now, and I'm vibing off of MainEvent, I'm like, what am I going to do when I go home? How am I going to afford 3 children? What's going to happen? And I brought a group together, and I said, yo, I don't think that this thing is going in the right way. We're listed on the stock exchange. We're trending above numbers, but it's not going in the right way. Does that make sense? I'm like, no, we're not doing this thing right. Something wrong. I was like, I picked 3 people. I was like, you, come. You, come. You, come. Pick 3 people. One of them was pissed off. I was like, you are not going to be doing your job when you come back. So when you come back, you're just going to have to find a new job. She's like, huh? She was going off on vacation. I promoted one of her subordinates to take over her job. And I told her that when she come back, she have to look at new work. Just like that. She's like, what? And every day, because they're allowed to speak to me freely, there was more and more colorful languages with the WhatsApps coming in to me. And then she went off to some part of Europe. And I got it in Italian one day. I got it in French the other day. The Spanish never sounds so nice. So I said, call me. And we had a little chat. I'm like, what you vex about? What do you mean? What's this thing about getting a new job? I said, we're going to do something different. Oh, that's all? All right. Enjoy vacation. She came back with a big-ass smile. And what has she done since? She has set up my new division in the annex with my whole Reneville contract. And she's now running my office out west. And she's doing big things for us. Agile, adaptability, respond, listen, try it, change, move. The other one, NCB said them love her. Can't move her. I'm like, sorry, we gotta go. Sasha, she formed M-Style. She make them table there, and they make the print on the table, and the this and the that, and the that, and the that, and the that. She designed this, not me. That's M-Style right there. And Kadian was there to crack my business partner's tough skull. He don't like change, but he don't have no choice. So I was like, you responsible for him, you kick his you-know-what, and let's go. And that's just that. Just like what them did do. I don't buy no beanbag or no pretty office. I'm like, come, let's go. What have I done in my life? So I did have a side also when I was at DNG. I had a thing named RAS Promotions. And even then, I changed the game. Dance was not dance anymore. Whenever I have to go to somewhere that we're going to get killed along the way or get killed leaving to go to a dance. So I took the dance out of downtown and I brought it uptown. And then now it's a staple. And then, after that man said, must resign, in other words, you're fired, I started a thing called Go Promotions and Go Display Systems. Well, Go Promotions became MainEvent, and Go Display Systems became iPrint, now iPrint NOA. And then along the way, we have another thing called Dream Entertainment. Saw that guy earlier, that big guy. I told that guy he was messing around with life. So I said, come here. No, but I don't have no, I need a day job. I need a money in my pocket every week. I said, like, you're stupid. You are, it was 24 at the time. I said, you need to be the CEO of this thing. And I said, you guys, all of those dream guys, you're going to report to this office every day. You're going to go outside. We're going to have a meeting every week. Me, make promoter, have meeting with projector. Fancy that. Promoters and projectors, that don't work. I'm like, guys, you guys are now in the entertainment business. I remember after year 3, we beat up ATI and we beat up everybody and them start to puff up them chests and ooh. And them have a, this video presentation that's supposed to come on MTV and BT and all kind of things. Everybody go there and says, hey, I'm PJ Wright, and I'm a promoter, and I do so and so and so. So I was like, okay. Made all them speak. And when it was my time, I says, hi, my name is Solomon Sharpe. Those guys are promoters. I'm an entertainment mogul. So guys, state of mind is key. And after the second year, I said, what next? We'll beat them up. So I was like, a weekend don't cut it. Destination. So I remember going down to Trinidad, spending a week at a time, spending 8 days, spending an extra day because of that Indian girl. Before you, yes, it was, you know, since I met my wife, I don't go back to Carnival. I wonder why. But seriously, a weekend, that can't work. Who goes on anywhere Friday and is busting it to leave on Monday? It don't work. I said, guys, we're going to do this whole thing different. We're now a festival, and we're going to do it for a week. So Dream Weekend really needs to be Dream Week. And we played around with it. And then my assistant at the time said, come, we're going to do this presentation now. And I started throwing stuff out that I didn't believe. We'll put it on paper. And it looked good. And we went to everybody and presented, says, yeah, we're Dream Week. We have arrived. And we're going to do a destination event. And it's going to look like the Super Bowl. And it's going to look like Trinidad Carnival. It's going to look like Rio Carnival. Blah, 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 blah. And we're going to head to bed. And tourist board, they better give us some money because we're going to fill up 7,000 rooms. And we're going to bring 5 cruise ships and all manner of things. And blah, blah, blah. We didn't quite get there. There are no cruise ships coming in. But we have 7,000 rooms. And maybe another 7,000 on the beach. And we have put together something that kicked whatever was going on that weekend out the door and reinvented ourselves year on year and continuously recreating that other thing. And in the 10 years, people like Scott Dunn, that was an ace insurance salesman. Oh, I'm quitting. I'm like, yeah, idiot. You have 2 young kids. No. All of them now are entertainment. Did anybody in here know that PP is supposed to be an engineer? Yeah. No, I'm engineering in wasteland down in Trinidad. So you see, it's all in us. And as I said, you guys are smart. We're not smart. We were forced to do this because we're not smart. Then my partner came to me one day and says, hey, we just hit the jackpot. And you're smart. We have a little cash. You're paying too much. I used to send brown paper bags of $1 million, sometime 2, sometime 3, down to the signage suppliers that I had. One was NOA that we eventually bought. One was City Graphics that NOA bought, that we bought. See? So the thing is coming together. Does that sound like your life and that's so easy for you guys to do? So easy. So eventually, why aren't you doing this signage business? And I used to have a little signage hustle on the side of the house, go display systems and all of these kind of things. She's like, why are you not doing this for yourself? I'm like, why? I don't have no money. I don't have no time for that right now. MainEvent have me busy. And then Katrina, who's one of my partners, was married to Sheldon, who's one of my other partners. And I guess over pillow talk, them used to say, yo, don't you have some money? And that dude is crazy, but him smart, and we're going to get some things done. But we need to have a signage company. And then Sheldon came to me one day and said, anyway, stop your foolishness. And then we had some little football talk, which I'll get to. And he said, I have some money, we're going to Phoenix, Arizona, 3 weeks' time. I'm like, you serious? And then one of our other competitors that shall remain nameless called me like 3 days later. Hey, how are you giving everybody else the printing work? And you know that I just buy so and so and so, and so and so and so and so and so. I was like, oh, really? Why, I don't know, No, man, I need you to come down for a visit, and I'll buy you lunch. Everybody want to buy me lunch. Me look hungry. I want to buy you lunch, I want this. I was like, look, I'm not hungry, but I'll come and I'll look at your printers. Because I'm going to the same show 3 weeks' time, and you're going to help me buy what I really need to buy. Oh, and I'm a little bit lucky, because those things are luck. So try and go and buy some luck wherever it sells, right? So that's how iPrint was formed. We went to Phoenix. We had a budget of $350,000, and the two crazy ones, Solomon and Sheldon, was going there, and they were threatening us. Remember, we only have $350,000 US dollars we're talking about now. Do not bust that budget, and I know you two, you're the worst. Well, we only spent $150, and we came back with more than they sent us to go and buy. Right? So, in all my crazy, in all my budget busting, there's a little bit of sense and structure along the way. There came iPrint. And then along the way, I saw this kid, Balan, quirky individual, creative. So come here. You look like you have like a sense and you're creative. What you want out of life? No. Just want rich. It's like, okay, that works. What you study in school? Geography. I'm like, geography. Anyway, you're now the CEO of your own company. It's like, huh? And he spent 1 year saying that Salah, trick him. Tell him about I'm some CEO and whatever. And I said, by the way, you're not getting no pay. You're going to get a stipend. Every month, the stipend run out. Yo, I still have to ask him mother for gas money and blah, 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 blah. I was like, yeah, because you're not working hard enough. We need to make this thing bigger. Now, we're going to spend too much money on a huge building, and what started 4 years ago with this kid that, was so rich, and he got an assistant. It was 2 of them 4 years ago. Now there's 25 of them packed up in 600 square feet. Don't ask me how it works. But it works. And Mystique was born, and Mystique is now kicking ass. And as I said before, out of that became M-Style, became the annex, because I was working. I am a Scatel, yes. I work today for Red Stripe, and 2 hours later for MainEvent, and back and forth. And I make it work, though. And we don't mix and mingle. Cost me a little bit more. We rented a whole different office, because we have to be structured and you have to be disciplined. All the MainEvent work happened there. All the legacy work, which was Red Stripe at the time, happens here. That team cost me, we don't feel a part of the team, and every now and then, I buy them like ice cream bars at Nestle, and they're happy. They're like, okay, we love you again. So you have to outperform your competition. IBM Consulting interviewed more than 1,000 global CEOs and found that financial outperformance manage change well. Right, NCB? You guys outperform the competition like 5-1. I outperform my competition like 100-1. And anytime I get to 98, I get nervous. Read good to great, please. Read good to great, please. Change my life. Make sure that Collins dude, I've read 3 of his books, changed my life. Strategy. So yes, I played football. And even with the girls in the office, I've turned some of them into football fans. Oh my God, here he goes again, telling us about football and all that kind of thing. Hello, you, Jason. I need somebody to give you a mic because you're going to recite one of my favorite things, okay? We have to be goal-oriented. What a young man did tell me, say, I'm wonder what? Young man say, I wanted to come out of the car that his parents give him and drive a European car, and I says, nope, stay in that. And him fight me. I said, well, earn more money. Then him get a CRV. And I'm driving a European car, own him own place. 4 years. 4 years. And that's part of the, oh, my wife is here. Yeah, that's part of our retirement fund, right? See, Naja spoke about retirement. I don't take a dollar out of that business. So I go and throw my partner in a mistake. Right? Put it back in, right? One day that won't pay me. Identify the capabilities needed and align your processes and strategies to maximize and sustain success. So, when I was playing football, right, I wasn't this big, but I wasn't this small. So I wasn't the quickest. So I had to use my brain. So these guys were fast, like really fast. I remember playing in Oakland, Michigan one day. And this guy is like, it's on Friday night before the game Saturday. Who we playing tomorrow? Oakland. How good are they? Oh, I don't know. And I was a freshman at the time. I don't know. He's like, come, let's go to the corner store. And we bought a case of beer. Went over to some girl's room and we're drinking and having a great time. We're half drunk, half awake on the bus to Michigan the next morning. And then we line up. One guy that we're playing against should have played professional football but got injured and ended up coming to America to become a coach, find a wife, and stay the rest of his life. And the other guy came to Oakland to run 100-meter hurdles. All I hear my brethren says, damn, he's fast. Right? But what we had to do, we had to change the game plan. So by halftime, when the beer had come out of our system, we kind of had to change the plan. So we changed the plan, and we ended up, this team was all over us. We should have gotten about 6 love a day. Right? And we end up with a 2-all draw. We had to change our plan. And every day, you have to change. Adapt to change. Be resilient. So, in summary, in flipping your lives, just like pancakes, just like an omelette, you have to be crazy. Right? Agreed? You must respond to change well. You have to be agile. If you're not agile, do a yoga class. You must be strategic. Every day, all day. You ready with your mic, Jason? No, you have to recite what MainEvent. Yeah, give her the mic. MainEvent is?
Hi, everybody. So, Melissa is where? Oh, okay. Melissa, help. All right, so MainEvent is an organically grown company that started
That's made up of.
made up of small business units small business units that basically work together so that the can grow the fruit from the roots.
All right, she's nervous, but thanks. So again, we talk about side hustles. So let's not speak about it as a side hustle. Let's just say we have 5 small businesses. Everything is a small business, right? And what do they say? The medium to small enterprise is going to take this country out of poverty and da, 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 da. So every one of you must have 5 small business units, right? So they're organically grown and specifically designed to deliver wonderful things for all of my clients from the root to the fruit. So, M-Style It's just another hustle, just another business unit. Don't even call it a department. Don't call what you're doing a hustle. Rephrase the whole thing. It's just another small business unit, right? And then we're going to make all these small business units into one big business unit. Look at my client, $28 billion. And every day them I write letter, we want guardian, we want guardian, we want guardian. You get it yet? And every day the regulator give away hell, but we still want guardian. 28 billion. No, it's not greedy. This is future proofing, guys. All of our units, we can't rely on them every day. Why you walk with a, do you guys drive? Have a spare tire? Don't worry, I don't know how to change a tire, but you either have to have a spare or have a phone or have run flats. Well, rich people have run flat. I can't afford that. Them don't make run flats on my Corolla, okay? And the most important thing, one day my president at Red Stripe called me in. I was like, hey, how are we going to run that 100-meter hurdles? It's like, yes. I'm going to go to the start, and I'm going to get focused, and I'm going to run out. Man said, no. You start at the end, you look back, and say, how are we going to remove all those hurdles? What the young man say? He more rich. You know what? When they tell me that day, I realize that me I eat that, but me I work hard. Me want rich too. So I'm going to get the best out of him. So that's my retirement plan. I print and pay for the kids to go to school. And MainEvent going to maintain me every day. Right? I give all the dream money for my wife to go shopping. When I leave here, if Don Robin don't win, I don't have no dim sum money for tomorrow. So I go to the track on a Saturday, and that's where I hustle the dim sum money. Anytime you see me at dim sum, guys, it means I won money the day before, okay? So you have to structure your life in such a way. And this says, last thing, why do you go through conversations? Who will you listen to? Who will you listen to? I have plenty of people that I listen to. So pick some smart people around you. I have a board of directors. They kick my ass. I don't have no control in that meeting. I'm the CEO, founder, everything in that place. And them start to talk about EBITDA. And them start to talk about earnings per share. And them start to talk about all these things that, who does that? And then BDO come in at the end. And them have an audit. And they're speaking to each other. So I'm like, why am I in this room? Any accountants in here? Why do you guys speak that language? And blah, 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 and then, like, wow, I thought lawyers were tough. So guys, you have to take a check. And don't get hype. Don't drink your own soup. Look in that mirror every day and check yourselves. So that's why my good friend Novia and my wife and Melissa and Tanis and the rest of my team, they keep me in check all the time. So I listen to Dr. Blair when it comes to finance and other things. I listen to my chairman, Harry Miraj, when I want to think big. This man used to work at a company. He now owns it. He's probably one of the biggest shipping men in Jamaica, and every investment banker wants to be nice to him. I want him to be nice to me too. I still listen to my father. I still listen to my mother. I still listen to my other mother. I have two mothers. The one that birthed me, my stepmother that grew me up. Some of that whole dynamics and shenanigans, being here, there, and everywhere, that's where I kind of built up this whole resilience. So if you think your life tough, it's very easy. We only make it tough. It don't matter. That little girl right there, oh my God, I can sew. You have a sewing machine yet? No, you can't sew then. Yeah, but no. How much is that Singer sewing machine? Well, I used one is $25,000. I'm like, no. How much for a new one? Remember those conversations? No, ASD is some badass design about the place. Listen, man, when you did invite me to come here, Miss Catherine, when you invite me to come here, where away to me about time? You never tell me about no time. Oh, yeah. Sorry. And you have to be bad, but you have to apologize sometimes, right? And I listen to my staff, and he says, if you want to build a ship, Melissa did this, right? You guys know that I'm not this smart now. If you want to build a ship, don't drum up people to gather wood, divide the work, and give orders. I do that very well. Instead, teach them to yearn for the vast and endless sea. So when I take my team, as much as I create these small business units, Jason, what are the limits? M-Style, where are we going? All over. Next time I speak to you guys, I would have franchised this brand. We're going to be in the Caribbean, and we're going to be in North America. I don't believe it yet, but it's going to happen. Guys, you've been a great audience. I thank you. Do you have any questions? Good, no questions. Bye. Any questions?
Any questions? All right, so let's get the mics.
Solomon, this is Heckle or Jekyll. I don't know who you call Rochelle or Raquel, but I know with entrepreneurship or just even at the fact that when you left Red Stripe or D&G, that you had to figure out your next move, and when you decided that you want to start your own business, I'm sure there were a lot of downtime where you feel like, no man, it's not working.
Feel depressed, yeah.
Yeah. What do you say to others who are in that same position right now? What advice would you give them?
You just have to keep fighting through it. It's like going to the gym, and when you think about it, that your trainer is going to bust your ass, but when you finish that workout, and you're like, yes, and you're on top of the world, right? You just have to get up. You just have to do it.
It was on.
You just have to keep pushing through. Adaptability, resilience, stay on that grind, stay on that hustle, keep moving, create those businesses, wake up every day, want it, love it, feel it, and just keep going. Because I had a lot of downtime. I had a lot of fun time. I was a disciplined kid. I had to play football. I had to go to university. Right out of university, I worked at Deno and Geddes. When my friends were doing all manner of things, I had to be at Duke's, which is a bar on Duke Street and East Queen Street at 9 o'clock on a Sunday morning, watching a Skittles tournament, being served a lukewarm dragon. And I didn't know at the time that I didn't have to drink it, so I was like, okay. Right? And after those, wheel and come again. All the time. No matter what presents you. Stay on the grind. We can all do it in here. You guys are bright. It's easy. Very easy.
Solomon, in an age, well, let's just say, put it this way. Most people just go to bed and they wake up and they become. You've just made an amazing statement. You're going to be franchising and you're going to the Caribbean. How do you keep your eye on the excellence of your product?
All right. So one of the things that I'm learning every day, by the way, and I try. So I have to take a risk. It don't always go right. So again, with good critics like Novion and others around, and Melissa, You first have to take that risk and be prepared to fail. Be prepared that if you would have done it this way and somebody else didn't do it that way, how do you get into that person's mind to get it done that way? You have to scale up. You have to take risk. You have to train the people around you. You have to vibe with them every day. You have to get them to think like you and to work within your rules. And at the same time, give them this kind of creativity to run wild. So, when we have a horse in the pasture running wild, there are rules, because they might only be in 3 acres. So they are limited to 3 acres. But if you think about it, if you had a 3-acre lot running on, you get tired pretty quickly. So there are rules, but it seems like you're just running all day. You're running wild for 3 acres. It's great. So now with my team, that's the hardest part of the work. That's what causes me not to sleep at night. Then you have to know what to invest in, how to invest in. You have to make your suppliers your partners. Supplier came in and visited me 2 days ago. He's like, man, you're pissing money out the door. I'm like, what? No, I'm Solomon Sharpe. I've set this thing up. It's the best. I was like, no, we don't come again. Well, he didn't say it like that, but in his Canadian voice. And I was like, wow. So you have to check after check. As I say, don't drink your own soup. Look in the mirror. Were these tables done the best way today? What do I need to do different? Is it the print on the table that's not right? Is it the table itself that's not right? What do we need to do? My budget for training staff is too much. I busted that budget. Last year we spent about $15 million on training the team at MainEvent. I told them the year before that we're spending 10. They didn't believe me. So that little drop in profit is training cause it. But guess what? If you don't train, you don't future-proof yourself. And if you don't expand, you don't future-proof yourself. And if you don't listen to what the critics are saying, you don't future-proof yourself. Because after 1 or 2 times, I'm going to say, no, I'm not ready yet. So what my team did today, them could have said, I'm not playing the video. Right? Them fight with technology over there, and them fix it. What you guys don't know, that machine that costs $25,000 US over there, the lighting thing, them say, yo, boss, just hold on before you go on. The machine freeze. You guys didn't know that. So all that little me waiting, I was really nervous though, but next door, they had to do like a reset on the machine to the little lighting entrance. You can't just say, it now work, and just throw up your hand. You have to just keep grinding. And in my production life, machinery fails you all the time. Pardon? And even with the equipment here, when it's not the equipment here, the bus broke down. And we have to work all over this island. So I said, you know what, let's make it easier. Open an office in Montego Bay like a month ago. And what's next? And what's next? And what's next? So we constantly have to work. And my board of directors question me, why you spend so much money in training? You're hurting your numbers. I'm like, and me and them just fight every day and challenge with them every day. But I was not backing down from that spend. I have to work harder now because I'm committed to that spend. So you have to out-earn yourself all the time.
Hi, my name is Christine. Good presentation. I truly enjoyed it. Now, the question I want to ask, having resigned from DNG...
No, I got fired.
You say you hand in resignation letter.
Well, you know how it go. You kind of have
So
to hand in I got fired.
We'll stick to that one. All right, so you went and you did your hustle. But we have all these ideas, and I'm sure you had the idea before you went and did the hustle. But did you just start, or did you create a business plan? Or did you start and then the plan came along the way?
What?
What would you recommend? Business plan?
What's that?
Well, eventually, you know, have some order and organization to this, to everything that is done. Did it come after the
First
fact?
business plan done for MainEvent was year 6 or 7 when one of our directors came in the room, had a meeting. We said we needed some money to expand. And I think that's why we're successful. We never had a business plan. We never had no job description. We never had Babylon. You're laughing. I'm being serious, guys. The first business plan was not even a business plan. It was a financial plan. Because our director knew who we were. And he looked on us then and was like, you guys are going to be bigger than RJR soon. Well, Richie fell off the chair, and I'm still laughing.
But just a follow-up question.
Yes, hold on, I get in there.
Oh.
I get in there with you. So I was like, what you talking about, Doc? He's like, yeah, you guys are going to be bigger than RJR. And him did the financial plan, and we're going for $1 million US. So I'm like, I don't know security to put up for that. And we hustled, we had some little savings. We put some money on an account. And to this day, I can't get to buy the car that I want, the watch that I want, or to go party. Now I have kids. Right? Because that money is there, and we've been borrowing against that money and borrowing against that money and borrowing against that money. So the business plan was, in 5 years' time, we're going to be a $1 billion company. We're at $400 million at the time. That was the business plan. What that man wrote. So it became his numbers that we had to achieve. So we weren't restricted that we must do this now or we must do that now. We must hustle hard every day to get to that. So yes, I'm not telling you don't write a business plan because it has merit, but don't be restricted by a business plan. And we started with nothing. And the same thing Naja said, everything you earn, just put it back. Plenty of time, I don't know how my mortgage was going to pay. And Richard said, yo, we have a $5 million now, what we're going to do with it, but we need X, Y, and Z. I was like, okay, let's give me $500,000. You take $500,000 and dump the $4 million in. People don't know this. I have a Ponzi scheme, hand-to-mouth lifestyle. But MainEvent continues to do well on the Jamaica Stock Exchange, billion after billion, this after this, employee after employee. But I live hand-to-mouth. That's the plan. Don't be restricted, please.
Hi, Solo. Okay, so I just wanted to know how you keep inspired and you don't get burned out, like doing all of the different business ideas that you have. So those are 2 questions.
So, Terry Carell said that you see these things, but you don't see me. So again, I stay behind the scenes, and I do the work there, and I try not to be hype. I try not to drink the soup. When I don't have a lot of clothes, but when I make an appearance, you know? And don't be cocky. Yeah, but you have to bring structure in your life, right? I now have kids. So I'm part of how many parts of business is. So one of the things I don't try and do everything. So I try to know everything, and I try to steer everything, but I don't try to do everything. Right? So last weekend, I was at a nice resort in Montego Bay, picked up my kids, picked up CNRT Immaculate Prep, went down to Mobay for the weekend, and just locked off. Luckily, we had the nanny. Renee and myself spent 2 hours in the spa and came back. Kids were soaking wet at the water park, and they were having a ball. Right? I was still taking calls, When she thinks I'm looking on hot girls on Instagram, when I'm scoping the scene of what we're doing, what the competition is doing, what global is doing. So you have to just work everything in. So sometimes when we say, boy, our gym time must be in the morning or in the evening, the gym time can be 3 p.m. Go work out for an hour and come back to work. So you have to know what works for you. You have to know the kind of life that you have. I have 3 kids. I would like to see off my daughter before she goes to school. I'd like to see the twins before they go to bed. So I try and rush home from work, throw them in the car. Then I put them to sleep for Renee in the car, because other than that, they won't be going to sleep. They'll be playing. So when we stay in the house, Renee now has 4 kids screaming in the house. So you have to bring some structure. But I can't tell you how to do it, because I'm crazy. So you have to find your crazy. You have to find what works for you. But you must find structure, and you must put everything in. And every now and then, I do go out. I enjoy a few drinks. I used to enjoy looking at pretty girls. Now I just look on them, but I don't enjoy it. So you just have to do what works for you. But structure. Everything has structure. When you're making a dress, right, no matter how flary it is, structure. Go back to the core. See, I'm saying MC, that means I'm done now. More?
One more, S. Diddy. That's our new name for you on this table. All right, so Solo, I hear a lot about kicking down doors and all the works. And I think like you, I'm a rebel. You know, I think the people who I work with would say I'm quite rebellious. But the lifestyle that you are kind of, what I got from you was, boy, it's an entrepreneurial lifestyle. You really get to, you have your own business and you're doing your thing. What about when you're in a corporate environment and you still want to be disruptive? And you have to be very careful what disruptive is. What advice would you give to such corporate body people?
Excellent question. Maybe I'm the worst person to probably answer that question, because I coach my team to manage the manager. I coach my team to manage me. So you have to manage your manager. Right? He's supposed to lead you. He's not even supposed to manage you. I don't manage anybody. I just lead my team. You have to manage them. So when Naja was talking about earlier, like, you know, Lord God, my stomach, it started to churn then. Oh, when you're supposed to do that PowerPoint presentation. Sometimes that's not necessary. Come here and say, yo, big man, what you want? That not work. Huh? But you have to have sound argument why that not work. And if you bring them in, you know, them never just get to where them get to, because they were a-holes. But you have to reason with your manager. And I look around the room, and I see Natalie. And Natalie, look how big Danville is. And Natalie managed Danville more time. Correct? Okay. Okay, Miss Chin. And then she's not Natalie anymore, you know. She's now Miss Chin. Okay, Miss Cross. So I train my team to manage me, because I'm not always there. So they have to know how to make decisions sometimes. Right? And we don't want to just have little robots running around, do we? And we don't want to be a little robot running around either. So we have to challenge, say, yo, that not work, big man. And inevitably, they all come back to you and says, you know, you're right. You can create your own business. You can create your own brand, even from within. I was creating my brand a long, long time ago. That's the brand that I've not figured out yet how to really monetize. And that's the brand that I think that's worth the most. not MainEvent, not iPrint, not Mystique, not all of them put together. But the day I find a way to monetize the Solomon Sharpe brand, that little humble chill guy is out the door. Understand? You won't be speaking to me then. So look on us. You work hard. You work hard. Monetize yourself. Tell the brother that this brand don't work so. Challenge them. Or, well, you guys have a female boss now. Those are tough. Very tough. But just challenge. Always challenge the status quo. So the guy came from America, highly played by, they don't get his slash guineas at the time, said to us, challenge the status quo. And if you reason with your people, trust me, they're going to start to think different. Guys, it was great.
Thank you so very much. Give it up for the one and only Solomon Sharpe. Soon can't talk to him when he monetizes his brand. I forgot to also mention he's quite fashionable as well. Thank you so very much to Solo and to the team, and thank you so very much, guys, for your participation.